Hey everybody, we are back. It is Wednesday. It's 4 o'clock. It is just after Christmas. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday and everybody had a good time. And I hope you got exactly what you wanted for Christmas, because otherwise that would suck. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take away this graphic. We are going to see our guest today, who is Mr. Keith Michaels. We're hanging out with him. He's the drummer for Tango Down. What is up, Mr. Keith Michaels? Finally. What's our first word today? Finally.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you.
Great.
I'm glad we got to do this finally. And I realized the problem last time, especially with the audio, was in the wrong room. Now I'm in a better room with good reception. So I hear you great, bro. I'm glad to finally get a chance to do this. You know, it's the holiday, a little bit more less stress, a little more relaxed, you know.
You and I both work in the education industry, so it's
mine's not education, mine's transportation, but same thing.
Well, it's transportation for education, right?
Oh. Yeah, right.
So we both had the kind of same schedules, but
I didn't get them there. You wouldn't have anybody to help teach.
What? I won't answer that. I am not going to answer that. La la la. So did you get everything you wanted for Christmas?
You know what? Christmas really isn't a gift reception thing for me. I never had the need to say, Dad, I want that. I gotta have that. I always got everything for myself. I just want it. And sometimes when somebody got me something, I was like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, if you're not really enthusiastic about it, you hurt people's feelings. Like, don't get me anything. So I don't have to go through that. I don't need anything. Really, I can't say, to answer your question, I didn't get anything. I really didn't. I don't think anybody gave me a present. My wife gave me, my wife gave me a couple little things. She gave me a bracelet, you know, a drum thing. Not what I wanted. You asked if I want what I want. I say, honey, I want a new drum thing, you know. So she gave me a couple little things. I got a couple little things for her, but it's not like we wanted. We don't. I get what I want. Dude, am I being narcissist about that? You asked the question. So did I answer your question?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good to know that. I think that's one of the things that I love learning through this show. And I think your fans and people who, your friends and family, and you know, those are things that we love talking about, because that's part of what we do. It's part of.
What did you get? Did you get everything you wanted?
I got some things I didn't know that I wanted. My wife is pretty good with that.
You didn't want that, so you didn't know you wanted. So you might have got things you liked.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. I'll make this our lightning round question today. I'm going to do one because we did one before. But what was the last gift that you got that really, really moved you? Something you hadn't expected, and you're like, what?
I didn't expect it. I didn't know I was getting. I would say snakeskin boots when I was around 20 years old, somewhere around.
Really?
There. Yeah, that was really cool. I kind of wanted them. I really wasn't into shopping, and you know, there's no online shit there, and something like that was kind of hard to get back in the day. I guess they were expensive. I opened up the box. Fucking, these are awesome, you know. So yeah, I would say that was the most unexpected, appreciated gift I ever got. Really,
that's really cool.
I set when I was a little kid. I would say that's another thing. When I was a little kid, I didn't tell my dad I wanted drums, but he knew I was playing drums. But I got this little Telstar kit. It was in the box. I was like, was amazed. So I would say that actually was a long-lasting impression and exciting thing. Those two.
That's pretty awesome. My wife years ago got me a live DVD that I didn't know existed.
Live DVD?
Yeah, it was of a gentleman named Arjen Anthony Lucassen has a project that he does called Star One, and Space Metal had come out, and it's about a bunch of outer space science fiction movies. I love that album, and she got me this live DVD of it. I didn't even know it existed. I was just freaking out. I'm like, oh wow. So
how old were you? Got that? How old? How old? Like, you know, 20s, 30s, 40s?
Oh no, I was I was moved, and I was in my I may have been 50 when I got that.
Well, you know what the cool thing is? If you could still get excited about something at that age at Christmas time, that's a good thing. Plus,
yeah,
I know my nieces and nephews, when I used to give them gifts, they're like, "Oh, this ain't what I wanted." I told them, you know what? I try. You know, they want to appreciate it. So now I give them money. Take the goddamn envelope and be happy. Buy what you want. It's easier that way, you know.
It is.
I've been doing that probably for 40 years, 30, 40 years. Easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know what to get somebody. So that's usually the quick and easy, you know.
Doubt.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the young people like it.
You know, aunts, uncles, you know, niece and nephew, they try. I'm like, yeah, okay. You don't want to show disappreciation, but they don't hit it. They don't get it right. It's very difficult to please, you know, certain people with their things, you know. And how many drum things can you get? And how many Raiders things can you get? Because they know I like the Raiders. So it's like, okay, I got these slippers already. I got that T-shirt already. They try. Funny thing is, some woman's mother got me Jets slippers because she thought I was a Jets fan. I'm like, the fuck is this? I literally said, are you sure this is the right gift for me? I'm a Raiders fan. She went, oh, I thought you were a Jets fan. No. Put him to the side. I was kind of rude, but I was like, I don't want them. Take them back. I'm not going to wear them. Why am I going to take these home? I hate the Jets. That's kind of funny, right? So there you go. That's why Christmas to me is like, it's just kids. That's it. Little kids.
That's a rough one, man. That's rough.
Kids. I don't have kids. So once they eat 7, 8, they don't appreciate Christmas. They just like you. I watch kids opening presents. I'm like, oh my God, it's a madhouse. You know, it's not my thing. I have kids. I'm not dissing it, but that's my thought. Let's move on to Christmas.
Christmas is a great season of the year. It's one of my favorite times of the year. But yeah, it can be stressful, confusing. I don't know, you know,
the weather or you know the festivities.
Yeah, I love the weather. We finally got snow today.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's gonna stay. It's just coming down and melting.
That was melting. I was thinking.
Yeah,
I don't like snow. I'd rather be in. No, I like you know moderate cool. No, moderate. I don't like really hot. I don't like really cold. So it's fall time. That's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What's your weather there today?
I think it's about 40, kind of rainy. In the morning was a little cold, so the rain was like, icy.
Yes.
Nothing. Just dark, clammy. New York.
Yeah.
You don't know it that well, but
no, I think I've been there in the springtime and I've been there in the winter. But I think that's about it. I haven't been there in the summertime.
New York's weather changes so much, so it's so inconsistent that you don't get comfortable with anything. So right away, this is beautiful. All of a sudden, it changes right away. Boom, boom, boom. Then you got to get used to a different thing, and then you got to put a coat on. Then you got to change your clothes. It's really a nightmare. I'd rather have consistency in the weather, but
we must be in that same kind of belt because that happens here a lot too.
Where are you? I forget. Where are you?
In St. Louis,
Wisconsin.
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is on the map. I'm horrible.
It's kind of like right in the middle. If you were cutting the country in half a long ways,
Colorado is like next to it.
No, that's over.
Colorado is more west.
That's out west, yeah.
Okay, so you're like a little bit west from
we're like
Chicago.
South of Chicago.
Boys. From where?
We're like south of Chicago.
South of Chicago. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah. So it's almost, we're in that Midwest area. It's a little further east. So not so much like Kansas, Nebraska. Yeah. Those are a little more in the center. But I think, if not, somebody's going to send me a freaking map and go, hey, you moron, this is where it is. And I'll be like,
okay. If I had a map with me right now, I know exactly where you are.
I got a map right over there, and I'm not going to go get it. But yeah.
Just look it up on your phone.
I know. I on my new phone. I got my new phone. That was a Christmas present. So,
was it? What kind of phone?
I got an Apple.
I got the Samsung Galaxy 23, whatever it was. And
sweet.
So I talked a little bit about my phone when I dropped it in the water on vacation in November. So, make a long story short, because it's a long story. Traveling. And all my stuff, my airplane tickets and everything's in my phone. So how do I move forward? How do I get on the plane? I tell my wife, now what? I can't open up my phone.
Wow.
So I had to call airlines, and I didn't even know what plane I was taking going to Vegas. I had no idea what airline it was. You get it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're freezing a little bit in your video.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I don't know. Something's coming through on one of the messages.
Should I do something?
No, you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're frozen though. I can hear you.
Oh.
Anyway, so I had to call airlines to find out what fucking plane I was flying on. I had nothing. My phone was dead. Couldn't open it up.
Wow.
I had, ID and everything, but I had no paper, no hard copies of my flights, my tickets, or anything.
Oh man.
Because your phone is your ticket.
That's it. That's right.
Yeah, you're breaking up, dude.
Oh, I'm just trying. What I'm trying to do is just go. Keep going. You're doing fine.
I see myself fine. You're just freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to close some windows. Maybe that's what's going on. So
gotcha. Probably is. Anyway, so because your phone is your ticket, they don't realize they didn't think it through. So what happens if I only have my phone? And of course, they probably say, "Oh, if it's dead or not charged," but I dropped it in the water. It's dead. It's never going to work again until I get a person to repair it and get my information. What do I do then?
Yeah,
they have no answer.
Right.
So I had to call the airlines, find out if am I flying on one of your planes to Vegas from Cancun on this day, and I found it. That's how I got it.
Sweet.
That's how I got to my destination, to know where I was flying. And then the people at the airport, they had print all the stuff out for me. I had ID. Thank God.
Wow.
Never got it. And it was a big event for me because I went to Vegas to see the Raiders play the Jets. Talking about the Jets before, and I was on the field. I had press passes. It was a greatest day of my life. So that day, I didn't have a phone. So as soon as I landed in Vegas, the first thing I did was took a cab to T-Mobile to go through trying to get another phone through my account, because it's a business account phone. And my CEO of my business, he gave me a code. So I had the code in my phone, my wife's phone. So I said, "Here's the code." He goes, "Oh, this is expired. When did you get this?" "I don't know, last Tuesday." He goes, "Well, you got to get another one." "Get another one? What do you mean? I didn't know, So he couldn't do anything. So he's
like, things change really fast now.
Yeah, and it expires. So he goes, "You got to get another one." So I'm calling him. "I can't do it now. I'm not on the job. I don't know. You have to wait till." Do you understand? I need a phone. Wait a minute. I don't need a phone. I need a camera, because I'm going to the Raiders stadium and I need a camera to take pictures. I can't go to CVS and get a thing. So, dude, I got to buy a phone right now. So this guy goes, "I don't know what to do. I could sell you a phone, but it's a cheap one. I ain't going to take good pictures." I said, "Give me your best friggin' phone. I don't care." Spent $1,000. It was $895 or something like that. I said, "Give me that." So I signed a contract for that. Finally had a nice phone. It was similar to the old phone I had, so I was able to work. I got a new number, call my line, give everybody my number. Got through the weekend excellently. Got home, and I'm trying to get my numbers back. And I said, "Well, what about the SIM card? This, that, and the other things." Like, "Oh, well, did you back up? What was your password? And what's your email?" I said, "I don't know any of that stuff, dude. It's in my phone. It's all in my phone." So one kid at the T-Mobile took the SIM card out, and I was able to retrieve 90% of my photos and data, and only 20% of my phone numbers, because apparently this phone backs up, and if you don't back it up, it doesn't save the new thing. Whatever. I probably lost about 70% of my phone contacts.
Oh, geez.
So now I have 2 phone numbers. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get rid of this phone number until I make sure I get this stuff. I want people to still be able to call me so I could save their numbers. So now I had 2 phone numbers for 2 months. I just dropped the other number. So people will call me, "Hey, Keith, I can call me back too, because I don't have a phone." So I'm freaking out. So I was like, "Who is this?" So I'm logging everybody in newly, to restore their information. So then I would tell them, "Well, don't call me back on this number, because this number is not the number we're going to use in the future." And they're calling me. It's like, "I texted you." I said, "What number did you use?" "Oh, I didn't get that because I have a default." So I have to open up which number is taking the information to go. Oh my God, it's been a nightmare for me. So that's
Isn't it though?
It's crazy.
It is an onion of issues when you're doing that.
And they have "Oh, the phone's so great. You should have a phone." I don't want this. I did great without it. This causes more aggravation. People, get rid of your phones. What I want to do is I want to have some investors. I mean, billions and billions of investors. If we get this biggest magnet in the world, I just want to create it. And then one day I'm going to hit that goddamn button, and all the electronics back up to the air, done, and we start from scratch. Real. How you like that? You know how many people are on board with that?
I call you. I should just call you Snake Plissken, right? Escape from LA, when they did that at the end, he hit the button and it.
Oh, so it was a movie, right? So probably I think it was a movie. Yeah, I think that's what we should do, because it's terrible. They don't think it through. I mean, how about this? Okay, we're going to send you a password. Put your password. Put my password. Now we're going to send you a verification code to your email. What? I just put my password in. You told me I need to so now I need something else? How many times is it going to be before I'm going to have to do it in the future? Password, email, scratch my ass. What else do I got to do to prove that it's me? I need that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't need.
You're like, I'm standing right here. It's me. Just take some blood. Figure it out. Here's my fingerprint. I don't know. Whatever you need me to do.
Why don't they just fast forward and put something in my wrist so I can go,
Oh, God forbid.
That's it. Can we fast forward? I don't like this. I don't like this temporary learning technology period because we're in it. It's really bad.
I'd really rather go backwards. I'd really rather get away.
The magnets will pick it all up in the air.
There. Thank you. See?
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what we need.
I want people to invest with me. I will build the world's biggest magnet. It'll be a spaceship. It flies in the air. I click the fucking button and all the electronics go up in the air and they can't get it back. And they have no choice but to start from scratch. That's my goal. Nobel Prize, baby.
Boom. Done.
You got me talking about crazy stuff now, bro.
Keith Michaels for president, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get the American flag behind him.
I'm here for a reason. That's my reason, to do something better for the world.
See, that's what this show's all about, isn't it?
I hear that. So let me ask you a question. Can you tell people that are like watching you right now, watching your show? Just curious.
Yeah. Can you what?
Can you tell if there's people watching the show right now?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, we got. Well, you see, here's Blake. Blake is one of my former student of mine. And he's telling us he got some DVDs and 3 CDs for Christmas. What CDs did you get, Blake? Let us know. Did you get some good metal? He loves the metal, man. I'm eager for him to listen to your stuff. There's Kristen,
my friends,
and
so can I respond to her?
You can say hello. Yeah.
How do I do that?
Oh, I don't know that you can. You might have to do that.
There you go. I have to exit full screen. I don't.
You have to like go to a
with you and see you.
It oftentimes works if you have another computer.
I got it.
You got it there?
Yeah, man. It's
I've never.
It's a chat.
Yeah. So you just put it in the chat. There you go. You did it.
There you go. That's cool.
So,
pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. So my apologies to anybody out there. I know Keith sent out a link, and that actually was going to send you into the show. So it's, but if you just want to go to this address that's down here at the bottom, the YouTube address, you can get in there. You can do the chat and do that kind of thing. So,
so let's talk about music.
Yes.
Here I am directing the show now. I'm so fun.
So Keith is mainly these days. I got this whole stack. Of Tango Down. This is going to hurt. This is gonna hurt is the new album from Tango Down.
No.
And prior to that, we had Bulletproof. That's when I met you guys. Was through the Bulletproof time.
It looked like what, 2015, 16?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. I love that. That's my favorite record. I've been listening to This Is Gonna Hurt. I like it too. It's just that Bulletproof. I got into that one so much. That's when I met you guys. That's when I heard you guys, and we played the same gig, and up at Rockin' Skull.
Right. And
that
the one with was a bigger one. The room was really big, and it had a upstairs type deal with the what do you call it? Like, you know what I'm saying? There was a couple of places that we played. There were 3 different places with Rockin' Skull.
That's right. Yeah, it was in Peak and
Piercy.
I think that was in 16.
That was 16. So what you saw us in 15.
And then I was there in 17 and 18. I backed up a vocalist in 17, and then I brought my own band there in 18. That's when we really, really chatted a bunch.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember, which one was what.
Yeah.
So the year I got married. So that was the last one we did, isn't it? 2018.
Uh-huh.
Am I right?
That's the last one I did.
Right. So that was the last one I think he did completely. So, And that was in a smaller place, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I
they
think
had it in Tremont.
Janet Gardner was on that one.
Yes, that's right. You're absolutely right.
With your band?
And we opened that day, actually. We opened the Saturday. We were the first band to play on Saturday, and then she closed. She was the headliner that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the last one, 2018, if I'm correct,
Yeah.
for ROCKIT.
Yeah, you guys killed it. I really enjoyed watching you guys that year.
Show for us. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The other one was in Joliet.
And no, there was they did Pekin in 2016. They did then just down the road in Tremont, they did 2017. And I can't remember the name of that place because it's torn down now. They tore it down. Then in 2018, they did it in Creve Coeur, which is between Pekin and Peoria. So it was.
Yeah, now I remember the names.
Yeah, and I
can't remember that. So many shows. How do you remember that stuff?
It's my hometown area.
They were good. They were good events. I was really very supportive of it. And the guy who Justin passed away. You know that, right?
Right.
Obviously, very sad. Very sad about that.
Yeah.
But they were good events.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I was blessed to be there. I was really happy to do it, and it was in my hometown area, so it was great. My dad got to be there to watch, and it's just cool to have some good friends.
I actually did the first one I did was 2000, I want to say 14, with David Reese. So when David Reese had left the band, he got invited to do this one, Rock and Skull, whatever it was. I think it was 2014, and Ronnie Parks was playing bass, and Jack Frost was playing guitar, and I can't remember the keyboard player's name, but he's a good keyboard player, very well known. And David called me up and said, "Want to do it?" I said, "Sure, I'll do it." So we practiced. I did that show, and that was my, exposure to that event. Yeah. And Justin and John had conversations already prior, so I kind of said some nice things, and then he got together again, talked again, and then we did the next one, and we did everyone after that. So that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the credit for that, John, but even though I do, I did whatever.
Well, because you are kind of you are in your job, you do why can't I say the word again?
Networking.
You what's the word I'm trying to say? What you do for your
in the business I'm in, actually,
with the buses, yeah.
I have a lot of credentials, a lot of safety.
Oh, yeah, I know. But what's that word?
Right now I'm a general manager, all this kind of stuff. I do a lot of, because I teach the defensive driving courses, the kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Instructor, stuff like that. I'm, I make sure people are in compliance with, safety rules and regulations. There's a lot of shit I know. I got plaques all over the wall. Can you see them?
Yeah.
But, mainly with the music thing is that I've always been in the bands I've been in. I start off as the drummer. 2 weeks later, I'm making the flyers. 4 weeks later, I'm booking the clubs. 10 weeks later, I'm doing the merchandise, stuff like that. And then I'm doing everything.
Right.
So, not that I meant no disrespect, guys, that you guys could have did it yourself, but I take over, and I don't mean to. I just like it. I'm good at it, and I'm a go-getter. And when it comes down to music and the business of what I did as a professional drummer, I wanted it to happen. So I couldn't wait for somebody else to make it happen for me. The opportunities were there, and I would take them. I'm good with this. I'm good with talking to people and negotiating, business. I don't take no for an answer, and I will negotiate. I won't sell myself short, but I've been very successful in saying, okay, this time this, now this time that. Mm-hmm. So we agree to this, we agree to that. So now we have to agree. If it don't work out, at least our business was even. Mm-hmm. So there's been so many times with one of my bands that I play with in the Westchester area. Oh, you have a good crowd just now. I got to give you this kind of money. I say, yeah, because that's what we agreed on. Now, next time I come in, we can negotiate something differently. But if it changes, then we go somewhere else. But you can take back a negotiation based on something that happened that night. See what I'm saying? So the agreement was made, but I was willing to make a different arrangement for the next time. Mm-hmm. So we shake hands if you don't want to do that, and we say, hey, nice doing business with you. Mm-hmm. A lot of my musician friends will say, "Oh, we'll take a cut tonight." Oh, there wasn't that many people. I'm like, oh, but we had an agreement. We were supposed to get this. We're not supposed to make their money. We're supposed to get paid for our professional performance. That's what we do. So if you keep selling me short and saying, okay, you don't have to pay us this much, why am I coming out? I'm not taking that risk.
Yep.
Listen, the local business scene, for the music scene, I'm really disappointed in a lot of things. But I don't blame anybody directly. It's New York. It's costs. It's rising economy and all that kind of stuff. But I used to get pissed off all the time. So they pay a bouncer more money than they pay me. I'm there 3-4 more hours than them, and I bring people there, and I make you money, and they drink, and I'm more talented than this guy who stands there with a big body and checks IDs. But you'll pay him more for 2 hours or 4 hours than you'll pay me for 7. Go figure. Yeah.
Well, and I think as we've kind of talked about with our experiences and stuff, there's certain folks who are good with like you said, with negotiations, where you get in there and you see a different route. It's kind of like if we were driving somewhere together and we were like, you come up on a blocked way, instead of just getting upset and going, well, I can't get there. You go, well, let's try something else. And you've got to turn around and go try to figure something else out. I still want to get from A to B. I'm not going to stand here and just kind of.
Right. And that's the moving forward process. If you already set up something and there's a deal and a road you have to follow, you can't change that road before you get there. You know what I'm saying? You get through the road and there's a block moving forward, then you could change from there.
Yeah. We can think about that every time we go for a journey somewhere else and we're like, whoop, I've never driven through this area, but it's a good way to get to where I got to get because I couldn't go there this way. And it's just a matter of keeping a cool head, right? To a certain extent, right?
And being liked, even though you might be a bastard or a stern mother. Can I curse on this show? I don't even know. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. He said, yeah. So even if you're a stern, obnoxious kind of dealer or wheeler, but you're defending yourself. So if you don't get your way, you just can't get beaten. You have to get a little bit stern or a little bit, not, I wouldn't say obnoxious, but, draw the line to a point where you're in negotiations to try to win. When you're fighting somebody in your 12th round and you're getting your ass kicked, do you try harder or do you give up? Right?
Right.
Got to try harder.
Yeah.
And so I was probably 100% of the time. And a lot of people appreciated me for that. And I like that respect I had in the industry. But, towards the end, as I seen their pain, the club owners and, things like that, I realized I'm beating you overhead because the industry, the field, the business is not the same as it was. So yeah, you're going to take a beating probably moving forward, but I'm not. I'm just going to get out. So you either start in the beginning with people who want to play for nothing or a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it could have been at the old days, maybe, but for an adult musician who's been here for so many years, it's just like it's not necessary anymore. You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather open the door to somebody else to take over. My friends that are in the music business, and I love them all, the local guys who are still playing out there and have bands, they know that the music scene is really bad. They'll play the same clubs every month, 3 times a month. The money's not even important anymore. They love to play. A lot of my musician friends go, can't it just be fun? It's not about it's always been about business for me. It's the way I can make money and get satisfied with my talent and ability and get paid for it.
Right.
Doesn't a doctor want to get paid for a great operation he does? Doesn't a lawyer want to be satisfied with his payday and charge you astronomical amount of money when he gets you off the hook? That's what you're in here in this world to do. Be complimented and satisfied and compensated for your abilities. And if you find a way you could do that, and if it's a talent, you have to embark on that. You know how many people have talent and they sing in their bathrooms or in their showers in their basement? Like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. What can I do? I don't know what to do. Go out there and get it. You know how many missed opportunities there are for talents out there because they just don't have the aggression and the, go ahead, bull by the horn, whatever. I know so many musicians and singers that are so good and they just can't mingle. They can't take it to the next level. And I get that. Sometimes you don't have that personality and stuff. But if you're really talented, somebody who can bring you out there will do it because they'll see money, right? But I don't know. I don't think of it as fun. It's work. How many people have jobs and like this ain't fun, but I got to make a living. Now, music was not only my way of making a living,
Mhm.
but it was an extra asset to make me have a better living.
There you
And
go.
if I could make a living on music alone during the course of my career, I would have taken that road without a
Mm.
doubt. Like the rock stars play, 3 hours a night, do nothing all day, and then walk back up on the stage. I mean, listen, I've had those kind of gigs, I've traveled, but those times when I did that, it was a money making thing. It was a uh, um, it was a build up my reputation thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the money because most of the time there wasn't, or if there was, it was very little.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid and I was playing all the local clubs and playing the big shows and opening up for, Vince, whatever, those were big days for me. And I always got compensated because we brought a show, we brought people, we brought the music. I mean, between Live Say, Sundown, I had such a, and we did, it's hard to say that, unsuccessful. I'm very successful in my music career. The bands that I've had, I could say not unsuccessful, but not as successful as they should have been, so to speak. You know what I mean? No tours on our own, no, traveling. Too old at this point. Every opportunity we can make, or I can make happen for those acts. When I was in Live Say and Sundown, we took and we made. We had the reputation up and down the East Coast with Sundown. Live Say did very well, and Tango Down, as you know, is doing very well. We're doing very well, 20 years, but there's just that step that we're just not going up over. So also, you really can't go over that step these days with that kind of music either. There's not a genre where a record company or a big record company or even a airwave is going to make that big. That's what made those bands big. The airwave, the pushing, the record companies, the media, whatever. And as media got better for the opportunity for those bands, they excelled. Then they throw them out and they get another one. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Old bands that made the mark way before the media, and then a little bit of media that came out, they're still doing things, which is good, and good point. Never too old to rock and roll. That's right. But can you continue to make money in your career if you're too old? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But listen, I like the new bands coming in. But some of them are too hungry, and they don't respect themselves as musicians because they're doing things not properly. And I'm not going to say there's a book for it, but there's a better way to get more respect so that by the time you're in it 6 years, you're not feeling like you've been beaten up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my advice about that as a business man in that business for a long time. I won't venture into it again as a professional musician or drummer for that matter, unless it's the big deal. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had friends, we got to do something. Let's get to the end. I'm like, for what? I've done it all already here. Am I going to make money? Are we going to travel? Are we getting gigs? If we're not, what do I need to do it for?
Yeah.
I had a great run and I'm happy with it. And like I said, I see my friends still out there playing, doing local jams and gigs. I get it. It's fun, but it's a lot of work for a drummer specifically.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, that's why I'm always the last one to. And fortunately, my 3-piece band is like that. Nobody leaves first. We all leave at the same time.
Nobody works.
But
you say what? Nobody what?
Nobody leaves first. There's no. They're gone. And now we got to finish getting this stuff out of here. It's like we all pack it up
at the end of the gig.
Yep.
Ugh, my whole band left. They was standing outside with their hand out saying, "What's up? Where's our money?" So what I did, I'm not going to mention the band. So the next week, then I would pay them for the week before when I got there. So once I got that into the system, that was great. So they didn't have to wait for their money. And I didn't have to go downstairs and say, come on. Whatever. I hated that. But I had a lot of late night stories with some
right.
4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well, not only does our drummer bring his drum gear, I mean, he also brings the sound system. So I always get there.
Wow.
I get there when he gets there. Sometimes I'm a few minutes late, whatever. But, I get there so I can get the subs out, help him do that, which sometimes I give him a lot of shit. When he takes the stuff out of the van before I get there, I'm like, why did you do that?
Well, that's a good guy. How old is he?
He's older than I am. He's what is he? 62, 63?
Wow. I just long story short, Sundown's PA equipment. I always knew how tough it was because he was really having a problem lifting it and stuff. But I recently had it in my possession, and I'm like, how the hell did he do this for 20 years? You know, the old bins and everything like that. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Compared to stuff today, it's much lighter and stuff, smaller.
Yeah. You know, I give him a rash of shit whenever he moves stuff before I get there. I'm like, dude, just wait. I'll be there. You know, but, you know, I get it.
How many sets you guys do in a gig?
We have a 4-hour period. You end up playing for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Well, so you play 3.5 hours in 4 hours?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's
we take 2 breaks.
So what are you doing now? 5 hour and 10-minute sets?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple bands in the local scene in New Jersey. They were doing 2.5 hour sets. 2 of them. I'm like, are you crazy? What kind of money are you making for this? You know?
I mean, I get it though. I mean, when the night goes so much faster when you just do that.
Or play straight through even.
Yeah. But God, there's no freaking way I could. I mean, I don't know.
Sundown used to do like hour sets or 50-minute sets, 3 of them most of the time. But some of the venues that we played liked the longer set. So we would do like an hour and a half and then an hour. When we did the big shows, you know, the headlining stuff, it was always a 2-hour set, always straight through, which was good. I like that better.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to get off the stage, get back on the stage. You know, it was always better to do the full sets. Most of the gigs that I've done with the, upscale level were always straight through, obviously. Yeah. But the local scene, when people like tell me, oh, we do 3 1-hour sets, 3 1-hour sets, that's a lot, man. 45, 50 minutes, I could see, 3 1 hours is a lot after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to do, I like doing like an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15 for the first set at least. And
at
probably the second set. And then that last set's not as long.
Nah, definitely not. Unless they're all drunk and screaming and yelling and there's more people coming through the door. We've had guys give us money and play more. Come on. We played that already, What kind of music do you do? I don't even know.
The toughest part is when I put certain songs together that I'm like, you should not have done that.
Why?
Because the vocals are,
What kind of music you do? I don't even know.
Up there. We do we do classic blues rock. We, it's everything from Bryan Adams to the Cult to, it's all kinds of stuff. I always do this though. I sit here and I'm like, I don't know. We do Three Dog Night. We do Badfinger. We do
Southern rock, Skinner, Allman Brothers.
We do some Molly Hatchet.
Molly Hatchet. How about Outlaws? Marshall Tucker.
Not yet. That takes a lot.
You've been doing this for years.
We do Thin Lizzy. It's tough to do the Outlaws with a 3-piece band. It can be done, but you got to watch what you do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right.
Not like, we do Molly Hatchet. That's really not anything less, but it's not as harmonizing. The Outlaws have all that wonderful harmonizing.
Yeah, plus 3 guitars, most of those 2, 3, whatever. Yeah. But let me say, you never see Sundown do that stuff? My band Sundown?
Yeah.
Do you know much about the band Sundown?
Well, tell us a little about it. I know of it a bit because you and I have talked about it before.
All right. Well, that was a very, very explosive Southern rock tribute band that we had, and I was in that band for 18 years. And wow, what did we did? We did some of the really great shows, and we had gotten the respect from the artists themselves, like Outlaws, Marshall Tucker, Molly Hatchet. The list goes on and on. We would do a lot of openings for those bands when they came into the New York area, and we would do tribute or sometimes dedicated shows to the Allman Brothers or Skinner. We had this versatility in the Southern rock vein, 100%. The funny thing is, and the story goes, my buddy Steve Mitchell passed away in January of 20. I want to say it's crazy. I can't believe he's not here anymore. We got together in a kind of a classic rock band back in 88. And he was in a Southern rock band, so they needed a drummer. So I was like, Steve, I don't know Southern rock. I think the only thing I knew back in that day, which was probably 97, 98 when I joined, was like One more for the road. Leonard Skinner, Free Bread. Woo! That's all I knew. Sweet Home Alabama. I knew nothing about anybody else.
That's crazy.
Oh, you don't even know how crazy it is. So he goes, well, come to my house. I'll brief you through some of the stuff you're going to play this weekend. So I did 3 gigs with him, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at local bars. And we were doing What's Your Name, That Smell, There Goes the Love Song, I Heard a Love Song. I mean, I didn't know any of these songs. Didn't know any of them. I might have heard them on the radio if they came on. Sorry, Doug and Henry. Sorry. Good guys are great friends of mine. I would turn the channel because I wasn't into that shit back then, you know? And so I played this weekend, the whole weekend. And Ronnie, the main guy from the band, said, dude, he played better than our current drummer. It was crazy. And I played better because I was a little more tougher, a little bit more in the pocket with Steve because we played together. And then like the next weekend, he goes, oh, you want a gig playing in the Southern Rock? What? I mean, I did thank for the gig, but I don't know. I mean, I got to learn these songs. Don't worry about it. You'll do great. So I said, okay. That was 1998. I was 18 years later in that band, booking that band 100 times a year. Crazy. I played Green Grass and High Tides for 2 years, never even hearing the original version. Never hearing the song.
Dude.
I played Hurry
Sundown
for 3 years, never hearing the original version of that song. I played Jessica.
Allman Brothers.
Jam songs. I'm gonna turn off the radio. I just couldn't take it it was just too much. It wasn't Rush. It was I'm not dissing it, but I couldn't do it. But I played that song for almost 5 years until I went to go see them at the Beacon Theater. I was like, that's the song. And played it great. Just fit in with them because they knew it like the back of their hands. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this. I'm freaking myself out, actually, looking back at some of the videos. Then what happened was we got really a lot of respect from, the Tucker guys. They were like, you guys are good with play with. So we started doing a lot of opening shows for them. Tucker, the Outlaw became friends. And now here I am being the networker, being the negotiator, being the communication guy. Ronnie Pauls, who's a major Southern rock fan. Hey, how you doing? But dude, these guys didn't want to say hello. They were like not shy, but they didn't take the opportunities to connect with these artists who were their fans.
Oh my God,
for their whole life. And I'm like getting backstage passes, meeting, talking on the phone, sending Christmas cards. Yeah. I love the guy, without a doubt. Doug Gray, Henry Paul, Monty. These guys became friends of mine, and I love them, and I love their musical contribution to the world, and I loved playing their music. But I did it for the money. But I realized that by doing it in the New York area, and they say it, we kept their music alive because we did it so well. And their tribute to us when we did double shows together, when we opened up for them, I'll never forget a couple great times. Like Henry would do like the first or second song, and the lights went on, to say, hey, how you doing, son? And like, how about those boys from Sundown, Keith and the boys? And we were walking up the aisle from the backstage, and the place stood up and cheered us on. And I was like, that was great. He recognized us, and the audience was like, it was like 700 people, so good. And when we did our final show, I don't know if you know about this, I have this DVD from our final performance. All these guys opened up and paid tribute to us before we started our final curtain.
I think I need a copy of that.
Oh, you really do. It's really good.
I
so
do.
We did our tribute individually, each member saying goodbye to our audience. Wow. And then after that, it was like Henry Paul said something, Monty Yoho, Chris Anderson, Doug Gray, Ricky Matlock. They all said, thank God, good for Sundown. Congratulations, keeping it together for 40 years and good luck. And so they paid a tribute to us individually in the video reel before we came on stage and played our final show. It's really good. You got to get a copy of that. So my respect in the Southern rock genre was really, really good. And I loved every minute of it. And kind of wish I was still in that because that was really, really successful. And strangely enough, not my roots, but all this time I was in Sundown, I was in Livesay, which is the original band, doing all the original cuts, taking out. So I had my roots with the originality continuing. Yeah, I mean the stuff I did on that album. Oh my God, I listened to that shit and I go, God damn. And of course, you could understand. Thank you for plugging that.
There you go.
You could understand that the material and the type of style of playing drums are so different than Southern rock.
Yeah,
but I was able to, manipulate that. It was good.
Well, and it's some of it is which Southern rock, right? I mean, because some of it is probably a little closer, but maybe not. You know, it's a little more swingy in Southern rock, right?
Most of the Southern rock drummers were a little bit lighter feeling. They weren't heavier. They weren't really. Molly Hatchet drummer was really good. I
Yeah,
don't see too much drive, too much push. There was a little bit more of the bottom end was a little more with the guitars. The drive was more of a guitar-driven band, if you like to say, where Liv Say was a guitar-driven band, but on the other side, and then you had the bottom end with the bass and the drums. If you read the reviews from Liv Say's 2 albums, they always said guitar great. If you're a guitar enthusiast, great, but then the bottom end of the rhythm section is always a plus. But they left out the other thing, so that was a key to say that was a good thing, and then there's the other thing. You never really hear about the bottom end of the drums in Southern rocks. I mean, I'm dissing them, but it wasn't the highlight of the tunes in any step.
No, you're right. You're right. And that's why I say it depends who you're talking about, because if you talk about Molly Hatchet, there's definitely
that was a
heavier there, or Blackfoot. If you're talking about Blackfoot,
I don't know much Blackfoot. I really don't know much of their material. The train.
There's
highway
there's
song.
a lot.
That's all I know.
In fact, I picked up an album of theirs a while back. It was in great shape. It's called No Reservation, and I'm like, I didn't even know it existed.
New?
Blackfoot.
Is it new?
No.
It's old.
No, it's old. And then here, this one, Doc Holliday, is another band. This is from 1980, and it was produced. This album and the follow-up were produced by Tom Allen, who was producing. So in the same year, he did this and British Steel by Judas Priest. So Tom Allen produced both albums during that time frame. So,
like I said, I don't think I had any Southern rock albums my whole life growing up.
Wow. Well, and here's another classic right there.
That's it.
Rossington and Collins.
Well, yeah, I actually like that band because we did a couple of their songs at one of our shows in 35th anniversary tour.
Did you do Don't Misunderstand Me?
One Good Man is one.
Yeah.
And what's the popular one? Don't Misunderstand Me. Yeah, that was pretty good. We had a girl sing it too.
Yeah. Let me grab that while I'm over here. I'll just move this and grab that. So I love that because it makes me want to do a Southern rock band now.
Oh.
Let's see.
Unless you're better than them. I'm only kidding. It's not for nothing, but the Skinner is always great. They deliver every show. I've seen them thousands of times. I don't know what it is, but Freebird makes everybody freak out and goes nuts. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
It's just like crazy. Whether they do it or somebody else does it, but you have to do it good. If you're a lame band trying to do Freebird, it doesn't cut the mustard. And sometimes our band did Freebird so good. I was like, people like, oh my God, they were crying. And I see their emotion because they get the same emotion from Skinner.
Yeah.
And I was feeling the same emotion because we nailed it so well. And it's just like, wow, you feel it, which is really good. That's a good thing.
Well, here's this Blackfoot album for anybody who's never seen it or heard of it. It's called No Reservation. So there it is. I picked it up for $12. Still had the shrink wrap around it. So this is one that I'm not super familiar with. So I'm looking forward to checking. I have listened to it on the internet and I like it. I'm a big Blackfoot fan. There's another Tom Catton, of course, Strikes was the one before this that has Train on it and Highway Song.
They created a new band, a new version of Blackfoot without Ricky. We might have played with them a little bit, but they're like a little bit more metalish, if I've been told correctly.
Yes, yeah, and that was the beauty of these guys. That's where it's a difference. Now this one, look at this, Siago. They have an extra member right here.
What was the name of the drummer? Jack Spire, something like that?
Yes, that's right. You are right.
We did a gig with Blackfoot at the Chance in Poughkeepsie with Sundown opening. And I got a great picture of all those guys with Jack Spire just before he died.
Oh, wow.
I can show you that.
Wow. I would love to see that. This is Ken Hensley was on this record from Uriah Heep.
Okay, right. From Uriah Heep, right.
Yeah.
Ricky in that picture. Let me put that back up. That's pretty good.
Oh,
put that back up. I never seen that picture.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that. And that the Jack Spire right there.
Yeah.
And what's his name? He's got that
Ricky
band.
Medlock?
And the bass player's got Two Wolf.
Yeah. That, the funny thing
What's his name?
it's a band that I've never really become completely familiar with all the members' names. Ricky Medlock, Jackson Spires, Ken Hensley. Ken Hensley is the third on the list on this album. Charlie Hargret on lead and rhythm acoustic guitars. Greg T. Walker on bass.
Greg T. Walker, that's it. Yep.
There you go.
Hmm.
Michael Osborne and Lala on background vocals.
So here.
Pretty wild. Now here was and of course there's these guys.
Black Oak, Arkansas. Yep.
Tommy Aldrich, buddy.
I didn't listen to the material. I don't know the material. I know the band, but I never heard it.
Same here.
Yeah, there you go. Who's that?
Oh, dude. Oh, you know what? Let me put you on the center on the solo here, and we can see it. There you go. There you go. Wow, dude.
Everything. That's the Sundown guys right there.
Oh, awesome. Now, did you have a five-piece band? Okay.
Rick Derringer.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh, man.
Dude, I got so many pictures. I have like 18 major photo albums with just pictures of bands and rock stars. And I'm more of a fanboy than a drummer, trust me.
Oh, yeah. I hear you, man.
Who's that?
Tell me who it is. I can't tell.
Singer from Uriah Heep.
Oh.
Current singer, anyway.
Wow.
That's the drummer from Uriah Heep right there.
Wow.
Who's that?
Oh, that's Buck.
Yep, Loris the Cult.
Man. We got Crimson Cross here with us today. I love learning those bands I've never heard of, Stu. Yeah, it's pretty wild. All the bands we don't know about.
Chris X.
Oh, wow.
Zebra guys.
Oh, the Zebra guys. Super cool dudes, man. Super cool. And
Monty Yoho
here today. Who's that?
Monty Yoho from the Outlaws.
Oh, yeah.
The original, the main guy.
Yes.
Pat Trophy.
Wow.
Mr. Big?
Yeah, Pat Torpy was a great man. Great drummer.
You know who that is?
I should.
Scorpions.
Oh my gosh. Is that it's James, isn't it?
James Kotak.
Yeah, James Kotak. Who was originally he was with who before that?
Kingdom Come.
Yes.
And Scorpions. I don't know who else he was with.
Yeah, I don't either.
I want to show this picture like this. There you go.
There's Ricky. Wow. Yeah, I met Ricky when he was on the Skynyrd tour. And he used to be their drummer for Skynyrd, right?
I think that's when you met him, you said?
No, that was way back in their days back in the shed is when he was their drummer. And then he left and
that's my favorite.
Oh, I gotta get it. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I can tell who that is. Oh man.
That's my favorite.
So what do you think? Are you going to throw your hat in to be the new drummer?
Huh?
Are you going to throw your hat in?
It'll never happen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's me drumming. That's me drumming at my wedding.
Oh my God.
That's a whole jazz drum kit going off.
That's great.
Dude, I got so many. Let me tell you something. This is one book here. I got like 18 of these. 18 photo albums this size with people I've met. And I used to have them on my walls.
You and I you and I should do like a photo show.
Let me tell you something. I got a lot of photos. people walk into my house and say, "Your house is like a photo album." It is.
Well, let me ask you this question. This is not a part of this normally, but that's what the great thing about having our viewers out there. So Crimson Cross loves hearing about new bands. Like I turned them on to the Great Affairs, and you know those guys, and some other bands and stuff. But again, I'm still learning about certain bands, and I by no means know a ton of bands. But is there somebody out there that you know about that you don't think anybody else knows about?
Good question. Well, there's people who know about it, obviously, because they're doing well, but not that many people know about it. It's like a band like the Winery Dogs. I'll tell somebody about them. The who? Are you kidding me? You don't know about it. So there's a couple of bands that are in that caliber that have come across very well, but not the mainstream know about them. And the people that I tell are like great music lovers of whatever, who go a long way with me and music fans and gone to concerts. I'm like, you don't know this band? What are you doing? Where are you sleeping? So, but then again, people tell me, like, you don't know this band, you don't know Ghost, you don't know. I'm like, I never heard of them. So I guess it's a matter of what you get exposed to. And then if it's a member from a band that you've always loved, you're always interested to see what else they do. So that's an easy outlet for you to find out, right?
Well,
so if it's a new band, like, I don't know, Ghost, for instance, my friend told me, oh, they're great. Like Primus, I never heard of them in my life. I only went to go see them because they did a Rush show. I was like, what are you? I never heard of them. But they're obviously very well known and liked. It's, your exposure has a lot to do with it. And when you set your roots and what bands you love, you're going to follow those guys, right? But the bands that I know now, I don't follow new bands that much. I guess because there's no time. And good point, there are, but I just don't get an opportunity to really expose myself to them. I don't know why.
And that's kind of what I want to do with this show, is to really explore so many more of those. Even Tango Down is a band that not many people, there's a bunch of people who haven't heard about it, and they should know because.
Yeah, but you know what? It's because of the exposure ability,
right?
Because of the media extension. We didn't go on a road and travel as much as we could have or should have, and things cost money. If you don't get the support by the headliner, it's tough. So you have to pay things yourself, and we're not in that position through the course of Tango Down's journey to be able to do that and take that risk. So we got to do what the record label says to get the opportunities we do, and it pays off at the end of the day, but nothing else comes out from that, because the people who are doing it now that did it back then, what are they doing? They're getting on the festivals, the 25 bands, whatever. We're doing that. But these bands also did the road. That's how they gained the other 90% of their fans that are still listening to them today.
Yeah.
That's what
let's do this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but let's kind of do this a little bit. Let's do just a quick walk through Tango Down, because that's one of the main things that I wanted to talk about with you to get an awareness. And so just a quick synopsis of you guys getting together and when and how.
So it was 2000, I want to say 3 or 4 that I actually seen Scott Riff Miller, because he was promoting Adrian Gale's album back in the day.
And you and he are the only 2 originals, right?
Well, that's correct. We've been together since the whole run of it. So making a long story short, we knew each other back in the local scene, had bands that he was in the streets or whatever, local bars and stuff. But we never really collaborated musically, but we attempted to. There was a band called No More Johnny, and the singer, Paul Hendricks, who passed away many years ago, was good friends with Riff. So when the guitar player left from that band and they were looking for a drummer, I said, I like that band. I seen them locally. I love to be in that band. So we started to practice, and it was only 2 or 3 practices. And then, long story, some drama shit happened, and it just never turned out. So that was the end of it. And I never really saw Scott anymore after that. But then I ran into him in 2000. I think it was 2003, I want to say. And they goes, "Oh man, I'm starting a new band, and Kill Records, blah blah blah, and we're gonna call Tango Down." I was like, "Yeah, okay, give me a call." So I was really nonchalant, and then he called me, and then we got to find a singer. So I was like, "I got this singer from this band." Oh no, wait, that was the second one. He said we have a singer, and it's Phil Norrell. He was the first singer. So they were writing with Phil, and I was really on the outside. I didn't know much what was going on. And then they put it together, and then Chris Connis, I want to say, was the first bass player. He was also a writer. So then we got together to start practicing. Phil wasn't there because he was in Buffalo, but we had his tracks, and it came together very well. And John was like, "That's it, we're recording an album." So that was 2004 or 5, which was our first release called Take One, and that was pretty good lived. I mean, we did a lot of shows with Phil. There you go, Take One, and I want to say 2004 or 5 release on that.
You
Can you see that?
It only has the listing on here for the re-release. It's 2019. So
4. So we did about, I don't know, almost a year and a half of that with Phil, and things got tough for Phil because of traveling with him, and most of our gigs were down this way. So I didn't really know why we really parted, but he said like, whatever, I couldn't do it anymore. I had other things going on. Then we were on a search for another singer. And that's when I told Scott about this guy, Alex Barbieri, that played in a metal cover band called Streets. And he was pretty good. So me and Riff went to go see him together. And, we gave him the job. And he came on board, and we did Damage Control.
Okay.
That would be our second album, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all this shit. Oh, my God.
I was trying to. Oh, no.
I don't want to make mistakes.
No, isn't it Charming Devil? No, I think you're right.
Well, Charming Devil was next. Damage Control was next.
Yeah,
right?
That was the other one. Yeah.
Okay. So then we did Damage Control, and that was really good. That term was probably
2012.
No, not Damage Control.
No, wait. Damage Control 2009.
There you go. So from like 2009 to 2000, Damage Control 2009?
Yeah.
So there's something before that. John's going to kill me.
Hold on. No, I don't. Let's see. I thought I had everything.
Okay.
But there's Charmed Devil, there's Damage Control, and there's Identity Crisis.
Right. Well, Identity Crisis and Charming Devil were back to back. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It's got to be, well, if it's 2009, that's when it was. So 2009, and we had a good run for about 2 years with Alex, and we supported that album and did very well. We did a lot of gigs in those 2 years. And then after that, John and I guess Alex had a little, misunderstanding, whatever, and then he was out. But John picked up David Reese really quick, and he came aboard from Bangalore Choir, and of course his stint with Accept, right?
Yes.
So when he came in, him coming from across, well, he was in Montana or Wyoming. I can't remember, but he was a cool dude, and we really connected. All of us connected really quick with David, and the writing process started, and we really the songs are coming out great. And I remember when we recorded it, we had a lot of fun, but a little bit too much fun. So I think John didn't like it because David brought a nice entity into the band that was very freewheeling.
You're like.
And that album did very well, and we've got the same, same type of gigs, same support from the fans of Tango Down. But then again, they were all like, "Wow, this is good. We like this now," because they already seen 2 versions of 2 different singers. So people were into it, and it was happening. So John knew right away we could do another album. Then we did Charming Devil, which for me, that was one of my favorite albums. Is right there, Charming Devil. I think the production, the versatility, and the tunes were really happening. The photo shoot was fantastic. The shows we did with David were fucking spot on. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. David just wasn't happy anymore, and he left. And bumbly, he like told us the night of a gig in Denver. It's like, this will be my last Tango Down. I was like, what? We didn't even know. And it was, again, I get it. He did it the way he did it, but it was, you notice I have 2 girls in my shot, right?
Yeah, that,
everybody else got
one, like one for each stick, I guess. I don't.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I got 2. That's all I know. I could have had all 5. But anyway, so that was surprising. Huh?
You're worth it.
Yeah, thank you. And then when David's departure happened, we were all a little disappointed in that. So during that time, we also had a couple different bass players. We had Chris left during Damage Control, we had Keith Teasel Sinnott on bass, which is a Connecticut bass player who knew Alex, and that worked pretty good. And then he kind of left when Damage Control was over. And then Chris Connors came back for Damage Control. And then we went and did Charming Devil. We recruited Ronnie Parks. Ronnie Parks is the bass player from, locally Slippery When Wet. But now he's with Bonfire. So,
oh, yeah. Great band.
Well, David Reese went on to sing with Bonfire and took Ronnie Parks with him. And then David Reese is gone, and he's still in Bonfire, doing very well with them overseas. So then after that, so Charming Devil. And then after that, when David left, I guess Ronnie Parks kind of left too. And said,
thank you. I do want to thank you for mentioning Bonfire, because, Crimson Cross was just mentioning about that. Love learning about new bands, and Bonfire is another one of those. That's the beauty of Tango Down. Is I want to make sure that I say this right now before we get into the next record, because I want to say that it's definitely a benefit with some of these bands like Bonfire, Tango Down, because and so many more, Jaded Heart.
There's more. I could get the links and connections to other bands that everybody played with.
We will do that. I will talk to you about some of those, and we will get those out here, because there's the beauty of this with Tango Down and many of these other bands. Let's stick with who we're talking about. Is that when you guys check out some of their stuff, I'm certain you're going to like it, and there's not a clunker in the bunch. So the beautiful thing about it is you get to hear about a band you don't know yet, and then you get this whole awesome catalog to check out.
Right, and so, other musicians that have branched otherwhere with other material and all that.
Right, but there's not a clunker in the bunch. Any of these albums we've already gone over, I own them all. Why? Because they're good. I like them all. So, do I like some better than others? Sure, but I like them all.
I have a favorite album, but then again, I don't want to be decisive that way. But I definitely have my favorite tunes from the whole catalog. And a lot of times when we played them and then we got them dropping, please don't drop that song. It would really hurt me. Like Rush wants to do Spirit of Radio forever. I mean, whether they like it that much or not, or it's a favorite of one of the musicians, they're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
There were some songs that I thought that were the favorites. We have to keep doing. They made me drop, or they had to drop. And then there were some songs that they thought were fan favorites that I couldn't stand or didn't want to play them. And we used to fight about it. That was a little bit of a, tough part. That happens.
Yeah. So did you end up getting Axl then before you recorded Bulletproof?
Yes, because Axl was interviewed in New York just before Bulletproof came out. And he was only like 20 years old, 19 years old. And
there you go.
Thanks,
John.
Yeah, see,
for the love of God.
Wait, okay, 2009. Okay, right.
For the love of God. I love the first line. Thank you for the opening line.
Because that's how he is with me. If I make a mistake, it's Jesus Christ. I get it. I knew. Didn't I say, John, I was going to piss you off? I said it.
Now we have it right there, black and white. Boom.
So going back to Bulletproof, when I am the fact checker. Yes, you are. And we need that because I can't remember everything.
You do. Okay? You do. Even so I need it.
And Axl, he played the songs, bam. And he was like, ready. Can we do this song? Can we do that song from the other album? I was like, he knew the songs better than we did. Not better than we did, but, we weren't prepared to do anything. He was able to do anything. So it was a no-brainer. We got him in right away. And, he was good. He's still good. He's great. He's got the look, the feel, the style.
He does.
He's a great player. And, he's committed. And, I like him. I wish he was, bigger and better and, out there. Never know. He's still young. I think he's only like 29, something like that, 30.
Right.
I don't even think he's 30. So 2000, what was the Bulletproof
16, right?
15 or 16?
So it's Bulletproof is 16, yeah.
16. So I think we were with him in 15, actually. So if he was 20 then, what is he now? 27.
Yeah.
20. Wow. All right. 15.
All I know is it's not 30.
No, it's not 30. That's for sure.
which
Anyway, and after that, we did great. I tell you, Chaz's first show with us in 2000, I want to see 16, I guess, in Rock and Skull. I think that was Joliet. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. Maybe. He was dynamite. We felt the energy on that show that we were going to, we did good at that show. And it kept the burning fire. And we moved on from there. We kept on. We had a couple shows. John did his thing. And then we did the second album. And we still felt really good. And just opportunities have hurt us since COVID. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunities of the gigs and the travel and all that kind of stuff. And how people are raising expenses for, the economy issues. Yeah, 2015 at Goodfellas. So that was Rock and Skull, John.
Yeah, that was in Pekin, right? Yeah. Goodfellas is downtown Pekin. It was like, it's on the kind of.
It was a Rock and Skull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so it's all good.
The
Sorry,
Bulletproof photo shoot, June of 2015, he was 19 when he joined the band.
That's amazing. It's amazing more that the last album, believe it or not, this is going to hurt us, is 2000 and what?
He said that was 2022.
2022?
Yep.
Was it?
Last year, yeah.
Read that line again.
He's double checking the fact checker. See, right at the end. This is going to hurt. 2022.
Are you kidding me? All right. Thank you. I can't believe that. 2022. What are you now? 23? This was only a year ago? Well,
almost 2 years ago, but a year and a half,
Wow.
Okay.
I'm just going by too fast for me, bro.
Okay, he says, okay, I might be wrong on the last one. I don't think you are, John. I think that's. Let me double check.
I don't think that's too soon.
No, it says 22 Kibble Records.
Wow, you're right,
You'll
John.
never read it, but it says it right there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot more time has passed since that. That's why I guess I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, still good, still jamming. I want more gigs. I want more people to come out. I want more, festival type shows. They're there, but they're tough to get in. I mean, we've done a really great job with Monsters on the Mountain. Larry loves us and everything. You know who Larry is, right? Promoter for the Monsters of Rock cruise, and we're still, he's venturing into us again, and that's a big exposure for us. The fans of the cruises, the fans of the Monsters on the Mountain, they want to see us again. But he's got a ball and a field of chess pieces to play. So I understand that. And there's not that many. There's a few, but not that many. And some of them aren't even worth it to venture because some of them are, no big payday, so to speak, or some of the bands that are doing them, like doing it for nothing to keep their exposure alive. So we don't.
Well, yeah.
John's got an idea for something to come up very, very special from Tango Down. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about it, but it's happening. Right. He's got his other bands he's got to work a little bit with. Don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere. When it comes back out with a special package thing he's going to be doing, because he's a great presenter of packages and things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be exclusively very good, and can't tell you when or how, but it's going to happen because we're not letting go of this. There's no doubt about it.
Well, whenever you got a chance to, whenever it's available to, just let me know and we'll come back on and we can do a little lightning news flash about it and just let everybody know. We don't have to do
what I'd like to do with you is get me and Riff together on this camera and do a dual thing, because me and him will have a lot of fun doing that. That's a lot of
you should just send him the link right now and just tell him to get on with us real quick.
I would love to do that. I don't know how to do it. John, take care of that, will you?
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
They could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody, wherever they are, as long as they got the camera and the mic, they can get in here.
I got to call him first, see if he even answers.
Yeah. There you go. Let's do it right here. While I'm reading what John said. For the record, we were supposed to record Chaz's lead vocal the day New York City shut down for COVID, so the album was delayed due to COVID. Okay. The upside, the downtime helped make the album better because Riff was able to sit with the album and recut the guitars. Oh, cool. Made a better album, hands down. So COVID was a blessing. Sorry, I'll stop now. No, you don't have to stop. I'm trying to hijack this interview. No.
Actually, I'm getting tired now. How long have we been going? How many hours are we doing this? 1.5?
I'm getting tired.
Listen, I had a hard day at work. Not really hard, but
Wait, were you at work today?
I was.
Okay. All
See,
right.
because schools close, you're off. Did you work?
No, I'm off.
Because it's a holiday, Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
I work year round. I mean, I could take off whenever I want, go on many vacations, but
Right.
the school calendar or schedule has nothing to reflect on my position, my job.
Gotcha. A dispatcher is the word I was trying to remember.
Oh, I was a dispatcher when I was in my 20s. I've come a long way since then. People say that you're a dispatcher at a bus company. Hello, maybe 30 years ago. There's a lot more involved in the school bus industry or transportation for that matter. I'm a very well-respected guy in the transportation industry.
I was going to say, does some of that help you out with your band stuff?
No, not at all.
Except for the fact that you have a brain for strategizing, timing, transport, these kind of things.
Hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Again, I don't want to talk about my regular day career that much, but it's a knowledge of laws, rules, regulations, keeping people in compliance, taking the paperwork and making sure the T's and the I's are dots, because little do people know how serious and crazy the federal DOT is with transportation, drivers, federal drug testing, all that stuff. It's massive, and people don't know how much craziness goes into the people who, oh my God, my kid's gonna be driven. This guy better be checked out. I want this guy to. So the feds get involved, and they're like, well, you know what? You should have this. You should have this. So they create all these laws and all these standards and all these regulations that a lot of bus companies or transportation companies don't care about, and they fly by the wayside. And then there's an accident, and then they lose their business. And there's a lawsuit, this, that, and the other thing. So the feds and the DMVs and things like that get involved in creating all these laws. And they make people come to do these things, and it's like people don't know what the hell they're talking about. So guys like me who know the laws can't stand them, but I issue the learning and the training and make sure they get it right, because they would never be able to do it. So if they don't comply with these things and if they don't enforce these things, then there could be more tragedies. So I'm really a safety supervisor. My title is Safety Compliance Specialist.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
I did.
And that's big. Now, that's besides what I do for my personal company, where my level of, my position is a lot higher. I won't speak about it. But the thing is, that's an end of it, one side of it. But for 30-something years, I've been a safety compliance specialist who's been the guy who's been in the meetings and, analyze accidents and set strategies for new training, this, that, and the other thing. It's very, very big. I'm constantly on wars and fights with the DMV and the inconsistency of they said this way, this way, this guy said that, but they're making a mistake, and that loophole is going to cause a problem for somebody else in the industry. So we have to fix this. And like, oh, yeah, you're right, we better fix that. So if I don't enforce my input on these things, like I constantly do, I get apologies from state people. I don't want to say Commissioner of Motor Vehicles, but that I might get killed at. I might get apologies because they know there's errors in their ways, and some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. So I constantly in a fighting battle to make it consistent, accurate, and useful.
Right.
Somebody comes into a job, I think maybe let's make a law. I want to make a law about this. And that's a good idea. Do it. And this guy does it, and it's totally useless, not seen forward, and makes it a burden on everybody in the industry, and they can't comply. So why did you enforce it? It's not going to work. Let's think it through. Let's look at it. So that's what I do.
Cool.
I dissect their lack of, I don't want to say it, but
well, you deal with a lot of personalities, let's put it that way.
We call it civil service working mutts.
What's interesting is because I consider myself the dog. I go in and do my job. It's kind of, I'm like the loyal dog that just keeps coming in no matter what happens. You just, yep, hello, woof, woof,
Yeah, no, I'm a leader. I'm a leader.
Well, alpha dogs. There's always alpha dogs.
There's always what?
There's always alpha dogs. So
alpha dog. What does that mean? I don't even know.
Like the alpha dog. Like the top dog.
Oh, the top dog. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Leader.
I was going to ask you this.
I'm an Aries. So Aries is the leader and the ram, ruler of the head.
There you go. There you go. Now, especially since John is checking in on this too, if you have a Spotify account, if you do that, you can get out there. You'll see a couple of the early releases, but you don't see the newer stuff. And why is that?
You got to ask John. I don't know.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask. I didn't know if you knew that.
I recently been, my wife told me about Spotify, and I hooked up my phone because the new phone has it. I'm in my car. It's like, whatever, Alexa, Siri, whatever the name of the car is, play Tango Down. It only plays the old releases. You're right. I don't know why I didn't even think about that until you just said it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something I was thinking about recently. It's because I use that for now, but I am thinking about switching over to Apple, but it just depends what they have. I start looking at one or the other and trying to figure it out, because I'm a guy who, as soon as somebody goes, "Oh, you ought to do this," then you're like, okay, but what do they have? Because a lot of times they don't have everything.
Whatever happened to making a cassette for your friend and handing it to him? Let him play it. That's what I liked.
That, and then the CD.
I don't have the technology ability to do everything you're talking about, but I don't know much about it. But sometimes I have to do it if I want to hear something, Right. And I'm still buying CDs.
Me too.
When I see a band comes out with a new CD, I go right on Amazon or whatever, buy it. I don't even open it. No, I open it, put it in my iTunes, and that's it.
So she says, crap. He says, okay. So am I supposed to answer that? John, if I knew where to send this, if I knew where to send a link to you, I would. Tango Down cassettes coming in 2024.
That's interesting. You know about that.
Cassettes are coming back.
There's a lot of surprises. You told us about a few things, so.
Well, that's cool.
Listen,
well,
I don't want to end, but I want it to be spectacular in a sense where it's appealing for me and the fans, and for the record label and for the band. It can't just be on another gig, whatever. I'm tired of that. I want to do something fun, spectacular, and without the, the drama, so to speak. It's tough when you get to this age, and we're all doing other things and families. And I've been doing this for so long. So listen, I love it. I'm not interested in doing local gigs anymore. Done. Tango Down has been my love for 20 years. Going back a little bit, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Live Safe stint.
Please.
Tango Down's been my heart for 20-something years, so it's good. I'm staying right there. And whatever John does, I'm on board. I wish it was a little bit more, but like I said, the industry, the toughness of it, he's got to tackle it. That's one band that I don't take any forceful input in. He does it all. And if I speak, he might listen to me and he might take it into consideration, but the final decision is always going to be his. And I respect that. Go ahead, bro. So I don't blame him for anything or for any lack of anything. It's just, I think it's the industry. I know when I see it. But that's one thing. So we're going to say something first because I want to talk about the Live Safe thing for a little bit. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, if you want to say something about that, the only thing I was going to say was, I know that the Midnight Devils just did a 12-show tour over in the UK. Is that something that you guys have considered doing, anything like that?
I don't know. You got to have the contacts. You got to have the product recognizable to the promoters of the scene of that country. Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't know record sales in those areas or wherever there would be a market for us over there. And if there is a big enough market, if there's enough units sold, then it would be a possibility, and it would be up to John to make it happen. That's all I can tell you about that. Okay. Do I know about it? I don't know. He gets all the catalog listings and the purchases and the iTunes, purchases and stuff like that. So he would know that. And if you don't get the numbers, it's tough to get the promoter or tough to get the money. You want to risk making no money and go over there on somebody else's bank account. Who's going to afford that, or who's going to pay for that at this stage of the game? It's tough. You can't go out there broke, but you can go out there and make the money. You got to have money to get out there. So that's part of it. I mean, again, that's the record industry and the music industry today.
Yeah.
The biggest guys
the,
in the industry today are the people who are taken by the people with the money.
right.
That's how I
Right.
feel about it. Anyway, so I was
Yeah.
going to jump backwards a little bit with the live safe thing. So again,
Yeah.
my roots came from that a long time. Jesus Christ, a long story about that. I don't want to get into the history right now. But I did jump back into the seat as the drummer for Live Say in 2023. Would it be 20? Yeah, just this past year. Long story how I came back in, but I was excited because I had gone through my diabetes scenario, my loss of weight, my health regain, because that's actually why I left Live Say when I came back in 2018, and we did a compilation album on RFL Records, which was pretty good. It was moving, and we were doing some great shows, and then all of a sudden COVID hit. So the delay in that happened, and then I had gotten sick, whatever. Not sick, but I contracted a pretty heavy case of diabetes. So I was concentrating on that. Now Greg wanted to get back at writing, go back to practicing. I was like, I'm not really interested. So he invited Tim back into the band. And they continued a little bit more with writing some material. So 2020, 21, 22, they continued. Then I guess Tim wasn't working out. Like Greg wanted to change drummers again. I kind of heard through the grapevine. I said, you know what? I'm healthy now. I'm interested. Let's talk. So we did. So I came back and I was very, very into it. My roots were there. We were doing some of the old material. There was new material that was really good. I was feeling healthy, feeling great. Rich was my bass player friend for my cover band, Double Kitty, and he stayed in the band after I had left. And we went downstairs in my basement. I was having a lot of fun. Very, very excited about my return for that. And all of a sudden, we do the show, and you heard about that at the Striper show. I was supposed to play at Striper at the Chance, which would have been my return to that venue since my last performance there. And when the owner of it was a good friend of mine, Frankie Platt, he had passed away. So it would have been my return, and it would have been a heartfelt, thing for me. I was really looking forward to it. And then, I don't want to talk too much about it, but the bottom line is something happened that night where there was a conflict in the stage setup. Who was going to go on? And they wanted us to go on. It's too drawn out for me to tell you. But the bottom line is me and Greg had a conflict with each other about that show. And it was canceled right then and there. I'm not going to get into those stories. A lot of people know about it. But I was so disappointed, not only in the fact that I wasn't playing the show, disappointed in Greg Live Say, disappointing in just the whole music scene as a whole. My feeling was like, this is the drama that I didn't want anymore in my music career. This should have been a great night. I was ready for a great night. My fans were ready. The people who I was returning to play with Live Say, who were my fans when I was Live Say, it just got broken up and thrown out the window. I'm like, I'll never put so much energy and effort into anything again to have a result like that. And that's what I felt that the music business has become. So That's why my efforts and my feelings about the whole thing as a whole are shot. There's no way to regain that. Now that Chance has now closed now. That venue has shut down. And it'll never come back to me, the feeling that I've had at that room. The opportunity that I was going to be given that night, and it was taken and prepared for, and very excited about it, was taken away from me. Very upset about that. And Greg knows we've had our fight about. We'll probably never talk again. So be it. A long lost friend, because I don't know, ego, whatever you want to call it, say what you will. But it was bad, and I was very, very disappointed. And the whole bad taste in my mouth was not just with him; it's with everything. The whole fact of the matter that the drama that turned out to be that result.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing this for, man? It was bad. So again, my career with Live Say was great. We had a lot of opportunities too. We sold a lot of CDs, but in and out of that band because of its inconsistency. And again, changing of personnel, bass players, singers. It's tough business. Still, you know what? I mean, are you playing with your cover band because it's fun or because you want to get somewhere as a musician?
For me, it's like it's all the stuff. It's fun. Growing up, I always wanted to be a musician, but I never had the discipline to do it. Then the opportunity came up when I was older, when I had kids and a family. We went to a church and I became bass player there. So then it was all of a sudden it just started opening up because I started realizing this is what I was supposed to do, not be a drummer. I always wanted to be a drummer.
Out of it, did you want a successful career with large whole money, a bank account, or you just wanted popularity, or you just wanted the fun of being on stage? What was the most that you gained out of being a musician?
Probably Well, for me, it was like I could make a little extra money and have fun playing music and get better, become a better musician. But then also the friends that I was making and the community was so cool. It was
Yeah, that's cool. I get that. The community. I
very
never thought of
supportive, and it was great to meet up with all those people and be able to do that. And then that's how you and I met, because I stepped out and at that 2017 gig started talking to Justin and those guys about, can I bring my own band back next year?
But you also have an outlet for networking that's bigger than just, hey, nice to meet you, let's have a conversation. If you didn't have this thing going on, do you think that I'm not dissing it, would we have contacted each other or communicated again after that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not, unless we saw each other at another gig or something.
Right.
You have this is. What was that noise? Oh, it was on your. It's the ice machine. I keep. What the hell is that? Anyway, so
the new refrigerator.
I've never heard that noise before with this new refrigerator right here, the ice machine. But I'm just saying. I mean, I've met so many people, like you just said, and hardly any of them I communicate with or keep in touch with, other than the music scene or a gig or that. But this personal issue or calling each other or things like that never really continue. But to say you know somebody, you're friends with somebody, you do something like this is great. But if you didn't have this, how many of those people would you have continued to keep in touch with?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I kind of look at it in the same way as when you have a good friend at a job and then you leave that job and you're like, well, let's keep in touch. And
you're with somebody every day, and then all of a sudden you're not with them every day. It's not part of your routine. So you don't have that much room in your life or your regular day to do all these things. There's no doubt about it. Right. I got to get this call. Can we take a break? You should play a Tango Down song right now.
Either that or we could let you, I could let you go. I could let you get rolling, and then we could get back together later.
I could do that. I mean, tonight?
No. I mean, let's figure out another where we can get Rip on here.
No, it's good. I turned that
Rip on here, and we can get him in.
Invite Scott out here so we could do a follow-up, and we'll talk to John and see if there's any information that we could release, talk more about the Tango. Now, listen, that's all I'm doing right now. My whole thing, our conversation with you was great. We talked a little bit more about my regular career, which I was, stayed away from.
Well, yeah.
No, it's cool that we're talking, but personal.
Yeah.
Tango Down is was still there, and like John said, we got things coming up. I still want to be a drummer, and I am still a drummer, and I still play. I have things that I might want to do, like for my 60th birthday that's coming up in April. I always have a big birthday bash. Every year I've had musicians, old bands, friends, famous artists come in. It's my 60th. I have nothing planned yet. So I told my wife, she goes, oh, can I please just let me throw you a party? It's like, yeah, but what will happen? Nothing. I mean, she could probably do a nice party, but I have to have it, detailed and, musicians or whatever I want to plan. So I'm thinking about it. What do I want to do? And I'm not going to tell anybody right now, of course, but I am planning on it. And I don't want to make it that big, and I don't want to do it in a local bar. It's going to be like, a regular hall or something. But I want to do something because 60, man. I'm going to be 60. I never thought I'd be 60.
I know. I hear you. That's me this next year, too.
I'm 60 years old either. I still go down there and kick some ass, I'll tell you that.
That's it. That's exactly what I do. Same thing.
Kick ass and play hard and heavy. I want money. I want to get paid. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. See, there's always a bottom line. That's always my big thing. It's about the money, too.
I got to tell you, here's this little story. So I told my ex-wives, it's always about you. Every weekend, this is what I do. So as much as may you love them or not, but when one fan comes up to me and says, man, you're great on the drums tonight, 10 times better than anything you do for me, sweetheart. That was an icebreaker right there. Think about it. If they're dissing your career, and not happy for what you choose to do on the weekends and perform like that. So the thing is, my bottom line was like, listen, I go out there and play drum. I'm performing. I'm doing a gesture of my ability and making somebody feel good. And when that guy comes up to me and says, yo, man, you were great. You were so great on drums. That's better than anything one of my ex-wives does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yep. And it depends on your level. I mean, it's all the same. It's always great. to hear somebody just give you that reflection back and just
Yeah.
loving it.
And they come into your relationship. Oh my God, it's so exciting. It's so good. And then all of a sudden, do your fans ever say to you, I'm tired of you? Never.
No. But I did have some old guy look at me one night after a gig and go, "You're a joke, man." And I was like,
but was he a fan before?
No.
No, but that's my point.
Yeah.
People who are your fans and love you, so to speak, and respect what you do, they'll never end their dedication and their love for what you do as long as you keep doing it good, right? You start screwing up and become a bum, of course, they're going to dish you. But women in your life and certain people in your life, men, friends, they start to either get jealous or they start dissing you. But if you still have a fan, then you still do the right thing by them because that's what you are, what you do. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah, they're the lifeblood. They're the reason that we do it.
Look at Jim and say, it's all about the fans. It's all about you. We couldn't do it without you guys. And I respect that.
Yeah.
A lot of the bands that have made millions and millions, it's about the fans. They support the band. They don't generate that money on their own. They don't pay themselves, right? Yep. So you create an image, a talent, a product, personality, a respect, a giving part of yourself for the fans out there. You can't lose.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, I should let you get rolling. It's getting later there. And thank you very much for being here. We'll do this again if you're
so many times I was so disappointed that the last time I was running late, I couldn't get home in time. I didn't tell you. I took the laptop to work today. And I was going to do it from work thinking that the Wi-Fi would be better there.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't have the cord to plug it in. So I had to run home and do it at home anyway. It worked out fine, though. I'm like, I got to run home right now.
Because I'm telling you, I was thinking, if he tells me you can't do it this time, it's going to be so funny. I'm just, it's to the
comedy spot about that. The guy who never showed. No, I said to myself, I got to go home. I got to go get it. I don't have anything like this at work. I better go home right now. I shut down the business and went home. And what also helped when you said 5 o'clock to get me an extra hour.
See, everything happens for a reason. It's beautiful. Well, thank you very much, man. I'll let you get rolling, but we'll think of another. There's other things that we can talk about too, and if
there's a lot more things I want to talk about, but in a fun.
Yeah,
you're cool.
So take yourself, as you're thinking about it, if anything comes to mind, just write it down, send it to me, let me know, and then we'll just have you back, and we'll do
Viking Stew, hammer away. The best what do you call it? Podcast,
yeah.
Podcast on the internet. Check him out. Hammer away. Viking Stew. He's the man. I love this guy.
Now, I got to get you to record that. So
that was good.
So we'll definitely do that. Let's get back together and I'll get our outro music going here. So
put some on.
What's your next gig you're doing?
I got no gig.
Okay.
I really don't. What do I have? No, I don't. I have nothing coming up.
Okay. Well, then you're going to have to shamelessly plug all your merch.
Well, I'm going on Monsters of Rock. I'm going to see Living Color and Extreme in January, which is
you are.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great show. Ridgefield Playhouse in Connecticut. I got tickets to go see VIP Mr. Big. I'm friends with Billy Sheehan. A bunch of things happening. Events that I'm going to. Wow. I like to enjoy that more because you know how many shows and concerts I couldn't go to through my years of always playing gigs. So I'm making up for the lost time there. Monsters of Rock is looking forward to that. My guys, Spread Eagle, are going to be on that cruise, and they're good friends of mine. I look forward to that. It's going to be fun.
I'm definitely going to do that.
I missed one. I missed 2017. That was it.
Yeah. See, I think I'm going to have to hit the 2025 one.
They didn't announce anything for that yet, though.
No, but I'm going to have to think about it because that's.
My room will hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
This one's pretty good. The lineup's good. There's been a lot of repetitive bands. Some people complain about that, but it doesn't matter. It's a family. Monsters of Rock, Monsters on It's a family. Right. Everybody's so into the event and supportive of all the music. It's a win-win. You can't go wrong, man.
Wow.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, I definitely look forward to getting to one. I'm it's one of those things I'm surprised I've never done it.
I hear that. When I found out about these things, I never heard about that. But once I heard about them, whether it was a Southern Rock cruise or Rock Legends, I've been on 17 cruises
Wow.
in the last almost 9 years. And I never heard about it. I would never go on a cruise in my life. For what? It's boring. On the boat in the ocean. But then I heard about the music cruise. I've been on 17 since 2014. That's crazy.
Wow.
They're
And
the best.
now you've been on there a bunch of, you've been going on it for a bunch of years now then.
Yeah, I've been on every Monsters of Rock except for 2017, which is I think it's the 11 or 12 right there. Been on 3 or 4 Rock Legends.
What's an average price on that for everybody, just so everybody knows?
It depends. It depends on what you want to. How cheaply you could get interior room. All those things matter. Minimum, I would say $2,500 a person. Good minimum, 4,000. A little higher caliber, 6,000. But then you got to consider, the flights, where it's the port is, the hotel room, stuff like that. So I would say, without ragging, I probably spend $8,000 to $10,000 every time. Wow, it's a lot of money.
But for two people,
no kids.
For 2 people,
yes. Well, no, yeah, together.
Yeah. Okay.
The price for the cruise, comfortably with a balcony room, could be anywhere between $42,000 to $5,000 for 2 people.
Okay,
which is great. All inclusive, all food, liquor you have to pay for on the cruise. So they have drink packages and stuff like that.
I'll be ready to do that. I'll be talking to my wife about it.
Well, if you can get an interior room, like lower level decks, you get it for like, I don't know, maybe $2,100, which is cheap.
I want the balcony with all inclusive.
I always thought that too, and got it for probably 8 or 9 years straight. But I said, what the hell I need a balcony for? I'm never in the room. You're never in the room.
Well, that's true. Good point. Good point.
But people say that they want a room or a window because they get sick or something like that. So what I do now, the last 3 years, I get a balcony view of the promenade. So I have a window and it opens. You look down on the promenade. So it's an interior room with a promenade view with a window.
Well, there you go.
Have the ocean view. You want the ocean view? Go up on the deck.
Yeah.
Why pay $400 a person for that? You're never out there.
Good point.
It's really much better.
Good point.
You live and learn, right?
I'm glad we discussed this on the show. This is important.
Well, it'll help people on the Monsters of Rock cruise for their choices. You can say you heard it from Keith Michaels. Thank you.
So is that right, Miss? So you didn't know that there were rock cruises? Yeah, there's different kinds.
9 years ago, I didn't know. There's so many. I mean, there's metal. Do you know how many there are? Do you know?
No.
Oh my God, the metal cruises, Shipwrecked, Kid Rock, 80s cruise, Southern Rock cruise. There's oh my God, there's so many. Joe Bonamassa cruise, Melissa Etheridge cruise, whatever kind of music style you desire. See if there's a cruise on that, and there is.
Wow.
I mean, there's Comic-Con cruise. You know what I'm saying? Comic-Con.
Yeah.
There's a Star Trek cruise. There's Kiss cruise. You heard of that, right?
The Kiss cruise I did know about.
You're right in the realm of everybody else. Everybody's doing it. It's amazing. And it's the best time you can have. You're in a boat. You don't have to worry about driving. The musicians are, most of them are willfully walking around, meet and greeting. And you're right there. You go to one concert, you go to there's 4 shows going on all at once from maybe 2 o'clock in the day till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I see an average of 30 bands every cruise. 30 bands in 4 or 5 days.
Wow. A member of Tango Down is a very, very, very big Star Trek.
I don't like Star Trek. I don't like spaceships. I don't like anything to do with the future. I like the end. I like Planet of the Apes, bro. No Star Trek. I'm talking about the past. I don't like Star Trek. Okay, John? That's a joke. You're turning to me a John thing now.
You're really not a fan of like space science fiction.
No. Well, you say science fiction. I like Dracula. That's not science fiction. I like monsters. I grew up with Vampirella. My biggest thing is Vampirella. You know what Vampirella is, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, she's my biggest fan.
Yeah.
I'm her biggest fan.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm her biggest fan. I actually have her all over my body. You know that.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the original way back Harris Comics drawing.
Wow.
Yeah, his name in the back of my. That's actually not Vampirella, but it's a girl I took off for a Hollywood tattoo place, and she didn't have any legs, and I had my artist put the legs on the bottom. But this is a very good Vampirella tattoo there.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
That one, Joe Jusko, very famous Vampirella artist.
Frazetta, did Frazetta do some Vampirella stuff?
Say again?
Did Frank Frazetta, did he do some Vampirella art?
I don't recognize that name.
Oh, okay. I think maybe even Boris Vallejo may have done some stuff too.
There's a lot of them. I don't know them all. There's the old ones. So I'm going to show you my Vampirella one right now.
Oh, far out. This is
We're walking through the house.
Here's the extra part.
Check
this is what everybody's waiting for.
There's a lot more than that. Can you see that?
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
I'm probably losing you now, right?
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm losing you?
No, you're good.
Oh, well. I tried. I don't know why it's right back here. All right, we're coming back.
It's amazing stuff. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Back.
I didn't say you were a Star Trek fan. Pay attention. I said a member.
I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, he said a member of Tango Down is a very big fan, not you.
Oh, not me. Who is it? Maybe Alex.
Is it Alex or is it Scott?
I don't know.
I'd say it's Scott, but there again, it could be Chaz. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell. Sometimes you think you know.
So when I went in the back room, you couldn't see the Vampirella stuff?
No, you could. I saw it.
Oh, you did? But because the thing was spinning, I didn't know if he was still seeing it.
Oh, anyway. I got you. No, you were good. Yeah.
I'm tired of
Yeah.
All right, John. Who's the Star Trek guy?
It's got to be. I'm going to guess it's Scott. I
really don't know. Never talk science fiction with these guys.
I'll never tell. Well, okay. Well, geez. Okay. So
what's the point?
What's the point?
That's a waste of time.
Like playing a gig for nothing.
All right, bro. Listen, let me go. And we will do this fun stuff that we do.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, brother. And I got to out again. So we'll keep in touch. You have a happy new year, man.
You too, man. We'll be in touch. Love you, bro. See you down.
You got it. All right, folks. Have a good evening. Hope everybody is doing well. Again, have a happy, safe new year. And we will see you guys back here next year.
Can you dig it?